Hello everybody! If you couldn't tell by the title, today's vlog is going to be a little different. If I look tired or sound tired, it's because I am tired. I don't normally do personal vlogs, but based on the influx of questions I've received and recent changes going on in my life, I felt it was necessary. If you come to my channel strictly for writing advice, just leave, because you're not going to get that shit today. But if you come to me at a later date asking, where's Cliff or where's TSC? I'm just going to direct you right back to this vlog. For those who are still here, a quick disclaimer. I'm going to be covering a lot of personal information, most of which is in regard to my fiance, Cliff. I double checked with him, he's totally cool with this vlog going up. He just has one small request. I receive a lot of intrusive questions about Cliff on a daily basis, and while I truly appreciate your support, I'm asking that you please respect our privacy. If you don't respect my privacy, I'll get over it, but please at least respect Cliff's privacy. I chose this platform. He didn't. That said, I'm gonna get to it. Many of you already know that about 4 years ago, Cliff broke his spine. To be clear, it wasn't something like a slipped disc. He literally shattered a vertebra. Long story short, his back is now filled with titanium and he was paralyzed in his entire left leg. I dropped everything that I had going on and I signed on as his caregiver. I slept in the hospital with him, I took him home with me, I drove him to all of his appointments, I handled his medicine, his insurance, everything. Cliff eventually regained function in his leg, and through lots of hard work, he relearned to walk. He now walks perfectly with a cane and has a little bit of a gangster lean without one. Cliff is now only paralyzed in his left foot, and this will likely be the case for the rest of his life. But he doesn't really care, considering it sure in hell beats the alternative. Cliff's recovery has been substantial. The doctors called his progress miraculous. But a broken spine is an extremely serious injury, and regaining mobility is just a part of it. Cliff still has a lot of issues to work through, the biggest one being chronic pain. Cliff suffers from two types of pain, and the simplest one is back pain. Cliff has titanium rods in his back. This makes him extremely inflexible, which leads to a lot of achiness. The more complicated pain he suffers from is called neuropathy, which is basically just a fancy word for nerve pain. Basically, when Cliff broke his spine, a whole bunch of bone fragments got jumbled in his spinal cord and damaged his nerves. When nerves are damaged, they stop working properly, which can lead to really bizarre pain. Sometimes it feels like his leg is on fire, sometimes it feels like bugs are crawling under his skin, sometimes it feels like he's being electrocuted. This has been the most debilitating side effect of his accident because, as you can imagine, being electrocuted isn't fun, and neuropathy isn't easy to treat because nerves are complicated as fuck. Another issue Cliff suffers from is a spinal fluid leak. All those bone fragments punctured a hole in the sac that contains his spine juice, so it's leaking all over the place. Getting really technical here with my terminology. This results in intense headaches, extreme exhaustion, and nausea at random. So if you're still watching at this point, you're probably wondering why I'm telling you all this. Basically, I'm trying to answer all of your questions in one video. A lot of you ask me how Cliff's doing or what exactly is wrong with him, and we both appreciate your care and consideration so much, but it does get old having to rehash his health situation over and over again. It's also not particularly pleasant for us. I don't enjoy listing all the reasons why my fiance suffers. So filming this vlog basically makes shit easier on both of us, at least emotionally. I also wanted to paint a picture regarding why I sometimes miss vlogs or why I take so long to hold a giveaway or release a novel. I no longer act as Cliff's full-time caregiver, but I do assist him quite a lot. I still go to all of his appointments, and he has a minimum of 1 a week. On his bad pain days, I take care of him. When he's sick or exhausted, I take care of him. A lot of people assume that the hardship is behind us because Cliff looks fine. He looks great. But everything he's struggling with is completely invisible. This has even caused us to lose friends because they don't take his situation seriously. Cliff looks fine, which means our lives are easy, which means we should be able to devote all of our attention to their lives, right? So with that said, where are we now? Cliff has sort of hit a breakthrough in his recovery. A while back, Cliff had surgery to get a device implanted called a spinal cord stimulator, which is designed to treat neuropathy. With this particular brand of the device, it takes a while to find the perfect program. We're still working on it, but he has already experienced an immense improvement in his pain. Additionally, we've learned that diet has a profound effect on his neuropathy. Why? Hell if I know. So we're in the process of finding out which foods he can and cannot eat, which has made a huge difference. If you've seen me tweeting about cooking and fat bombs and ketogenic diet, Now you know why. As for the spinal fluid leak, Cliff underwent surgery for that last week. The doctor said it went really well, but it'll still be a while before we're able to tell if it was successful or not. And from Cliff's past experience, this particular surgery has a really rough recovery process. The point I'm making is this isn't a sob story. Cliff is improving. We see the light at the end of the tunnel. However, it's a long and grueling process. It's going to take a lot of trial and error. And he's still in the thick of it, which means I'm in the thick of it too. Cliff is the one experiencing this. This will always be a million times harder for him than it'll ever be for me. However, he is my partner. He is my best friend. If he's going through shit, I'm gonna be right there with him, bottom line. Which brings me to my final point. How does this affect my platform, and how does this affect you? For starters, Cliff will no longer be participating in vlogs either temporarily or indefinitely. When he first volunteered to be in vlogs, he really enjoyed it, but as his symptoms have gotten worse, vlogging has become a lot harder for him. So that means no more Cliff vlogs for every 10,000 subscribers, at least until his symptoms clear up. I know you guys look forward to them, but I hope you understand and respect his decision. The second point is in regard to the release of my upcoming fantasy novel, The Savior's Champion. A lot of you have been asking about the release date, which is awesome. I didn't have anything nailed down, but I had mentioned on social media that I was aiming for the fall of 2017. Fall is right around the corner, and TSC is not going to be ready. There's a lot that goes into publishing a novel, and if you want it done right, it cannot be rushed. The professional edit is not something that can be done properly in a couple of weeks or even a month. The cover art is not something you can slap together with clip art. It's really important to me that I give you the best product possible, which means I need to take my time. It's also important to me that Cliff get the best care possible, which means he needs my time as well. Because of this, I have to push back the release of my novel until 2018. Again, I really hope you understand this decision. You guys are extremely important to me, and I don't want to let any of you down, but my family has to come first. This is a very promising time for both Cliff and myself, but it's also really difficult and stressful. It's not easy going through all this stuff, and Cliff needs me right now. So that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for tolerating my ramblings. I'm really excited for Cliff to continually improve. I'm excited to keep vlogging for you guys and to dish out advice and sarcasm and F-bombs, and I'm really excited to release TSC. It's coming along great, the response has been amazing, and I can't wait for you to read it. You know the drill, folks. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post new videos on Wednesdays, got links to my book available below, and if you have any questions, just not spine-related questions, because I won't be answering them, you can tweet me at Jenna Moreci. Bye!